As a creative, here are 10 tiny but fatal mistakes you may be making that are costing you new potential partnerships, clients, brand deals, and locking down that next photo shoot. Number 7, 3, and 1 are single-handedly responsible for millions in lost opportunities. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel. I'm Jesse James, a full-time videographer currently based out of Los Angeles, also the founder of Evoke channel. But this channel is all about creativity, mindset growth, and building the resource that I personally wish I had when I first started. We'll start at 10 and then work our way down. Mistake number 10, not building a touch point foundation before reaching out. If you listen to Gary Vee,
audacity.
Probably heard of his jab, 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 right hook. It's very similar. I'm on the receiving side of this one quite often. A model or someone will reach out and they'll say something along the lines of, wow, absolutely in love with your work. We have to collab. We have to work together. And it feels good for a moment until I notice that they're not even following me. They've never commented on my profile and they haven't even liked a single photo of mine. Interesting. So you're telling me that you love my work so much that you haven't even followed me yet? Because you had the easiest opportunity to provide some type of value in this exchange, but you decide that lifting your finger and tapping that button was just too much effort. How much money does it take to like, comment, follow a brand or individual's social media?
I'm talking about this.
Nothing. Zero. If there's a brand or individual you want to work with, build some familiarity with them first. Build a foundation of touch points so that you're not an absolute stranger when you do reach out. So follow them, like their posts, comment on their walls, buy their product, and then reach out. You're a lot more likely to get a response if you're a friendly, familiar face. And this is all proven by multiple psychology studies. And I'll talk about those more later. Mistake number 9. I call this one the autobiography mistake. And oof, I was guilty of this when I first began reaching out. The autobiography mistake is when they, being the brand, the client, or an individual, opens your DM, your email, your handwritten love letter.
I'm just a love letter to you.
And they get smacked in the face by just 3 pages of dense, microscopic size 6, single-spaced font. And on those pages, you poured out your life, your dreams, your entire 13-step campaign for them, and a contract for them to sign, stipulating that you'll be soulmates until death does you apart. Don't do this.
I am Guru.
That's right.
I am Guru.
No!
And I know it's tempting. Sometimes you're genuinely excited about the brand and you want to make as big of an impact as you can in that first message. But it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Here's an example. When was the last time you opened up a dense email, someone who wasn't your grandmother, and you didn't just skim straight to the bottom or skip it, delete it? You've probably even skimmed your grandmother's letter before too, you heartless heathen. Okay, now take this self-awareness and imagine you're a brand or a person with a strong public presence. They're receiving hundreds, if not thousands of these a day. Your first intention is just to crack open the door. Get your foot in there. Second is to get in front of the decision maker. More on him or her later. Third is to build some trust, demonstrate some value, and then fourth, you sign the client, you lock in the shoot, you get the deal. That's sales, baby. Mistake number 8. Guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, that is by far the biggest mistake. I'm kidding, that's not actually on the list, but subscribing. It's 100% risk-free, it makes my day, and it ensures that you don't miss out on future videos. Okay, the real mistake number 8. This is the opposite of mistake number 9. This is when you don't give enough, if any, information when you're reaching out or introducing yourself. For example, and this has happened, if I put up a story or post saying that I'm looking for an editor or an assistant for a project, and you reply by sending me a raised hand emoji, and that's all you send, like, what do you think happens next? Do you think I'm gonna just emoji high five you back and then we're gonna jump on our emoji horses and ride off into a beautiful emoji sunset together?
Rick, unlock it!
Just a second, Morty. Oh, look at that sunset.
Stop screwing around!
I mean, we could. How am I supposed to trust you with an entire project when you can't even piece together 2 sentences to start? Moving along, mistake number 7. This is a continuation of 8. Not having a plan or explaining your value add. I see this all the time with creatives reaching out to models. They say, hey, let's shoot. but they have no mood boards, they don't have a location, they have no concepts, no plan in general to follow up with or suggest. I'm not saying not to ever reach out and comment this on someone's wall, rule number 10 when we talked about creating multiple touch points. I'm saying to have a plan in place before you reach out. Just listen to the distinction between commenting, let's shoot, and hey, let's shoot. I have the perfect location, I have a mood board, and it's gonna work perfectly for your unique look. There's definitely a difference there. For clients and brands, have an initial angle or some unique approach for you to suggest. Take the initiative and have a plan that will help distinguish you from all the rest of the noise. Mistake number 6, not following up. This one, the world belongs to those who follow up. I cannot begin to quantify the number of missed opportunities, the connections, the millions of lost dollars, the untold life-changing moments that never came to be, simply because of the lack of follow-up. Set a calendar reminder, track on an Excel sheet, always follow up. This is one of those that I still have to remind myself of all the time. It's easy to feel like you're being rude, maybe you're being annoying, or you tell yourself if they wanted to work with me, they would have replied. But there are so many times when I've gotten a shoot or a gig because I was consistent and politely followed up. Do it 3 to 5 days after your first message reaching out. And if you don't hear back from them, one more time about 2 weeks down the road. All you have to say is something along the lines of, hey, following up on my original message, excited about the possibility of working together, let me know your thoughts on the above. What this does is it keeps you top of mind for them. It shows that you're genuinely interested, and if they have a roster of other potential candidates that they're considering, that may be the one thing that elevates you above the rest who don't follow up. Okay, mistake number 5, not taking the time to find the right person to reach out to. In sales, we call this person the decision maker. The decision maker is the individual or the individuals that have the influence and the power to determine if the partnership, the shoot, the contract goes through. They determine if you get the green light or not. So research the brand. Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, company websites, those are all your best friend. Find out who the decision makers are so that you can get your information into the right hands and massively increase your chances of success. Pro tip, if you're having trouble finding the right contact information of the decision maker, pick up the phone, call them. Introduce yourself, ask who they would recommend you talk to, who you should call, who you should email to chat possibilities. Pro tip. If all you have is a vague info email, start casual with an easy question. Something along the lines of like, hey, love your photography backpack. Curious if you'd recommend the 31 liter or the 41 liter for the C70. Once they answer, now you have a positive conversation going with a real human, follow up with, thanks. By the way, I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, I'm an influencer, whatever it is. Who would be the best person to reach out to chat some possibilities of partnership with? Get your foot into the door and then blow it open. Again, this is a game of inches, not feet, guys. If you're enjoying this specific video, hit that like button, drop a comment below, let the algorithm know. I'm not gonna stop posting and sharing this content until we've hit over 1 million subscribers. It'd be cool to have you along the way from the very start. Mistake number 4, being terrified of making the phone call. Oof. We live in a generation where everyone is terrified of picking up the phone. So what do we all do? We play it safe. We stay in our little comfort zones, we send texts, emails, smoke signals, literally anything to avoid an actual face-to-face conversation or something on the phone. Whenever you notice a trend skewing in a certain direction, there's almost always an opportunity hidden in going in the opposite direction. Remember when we talked about being a familiar face? Well, now you're a familiar voice. Think about it. How many digital conversations do you have per day versus phone call conversations? Exactly. So set yourself apart, make the call. Mistake number 3, not reading the room. Every brand and human is unique. So why do we all reach out as though they're all identical? Pitching or contacting a scientific research institution should sound different than reaching out to a local flip-flop startup. Reflect a brand's tone and energy back to them. If the brand's professional and sterile, then guess what? You're gonna cater to that in your writing. You're gonna be a little more professional. Are they chill and relaxed? Okay. Don't get sloppy, but you can relax a little bit. Hey man, dig your brand.
I'm the dude, so that's what you call me, you know?
It's literally wired into our genetics to like others that reflect our same tastes, looks, tonalities, dialect, appearance. In the prehistoric days, it helped increase our chances of survival by gravitating towards the safety of the known. The CIA developed a term for this. It's called mirroring in the psychology world. Mistake number 2, not having a media kit, portfolio, samples of relevant work. Look, even if it's just a Dropbox link to a folder with your favorite pieces of work, something that showcases what you can do, have that on hand to send out to anyone who's curious. If you don't have work that you're currently excited to show, this should be a priority for you to change. Take the time to shoot a few campaigns or pieces of spec work at the quality that you want to be paid for, not that you're currently earning. This will allow you to approach clients and ask for bigger budgets. This is the secret to getting to that next tier above you. And then just rinse and repeat this. Keep updating your portfolio and increasing your rates. Finally, mistake number 1. And this is the most important one of them all. Giving up after the first couple failures. Look, I've been there. You reach out to 5, 10, 50, maybe 100 clients, models, brands, creatives, whatever. And what do you hear in response? Crickets. Us artists, we're sensitive creative types, man. It crushes our little creative soul when that happens. And then you start wondering, you're like, is my work shit? Am I shit? Does anyone love me? Did my parents ever even love me? Maybe too far, but you get the point. No, guys, you gotta persevere. You have to disconnect your sense of self-worth and your perceived value from these interactions. Your identity is not your craft and it's not your art. Your art and your craft is not your whole identity. A brand not responding or responding and saying no, they're not saying no to you as a human being. They're just saying that what you're offering currently doesn't align with their budget, their needs at this point in time. This is a whole other video. But for now, remember that for every no that you get, it brings you one step closer to your yes. There's no shortcut. You have to go through the no's to get to the yeses. So get them out of the way. And if you follow what I mentioned above, or more like don't follow the mistakes that I mentioned above, you eventually will get that shoot, you will get that brand deal, you will get that new client. Look, nobody ever woke up and simply started locking down their dream clients, their dream shoots, their dream brand deals, okay? It was years of being told no, of learning, of refining their approach, of their templates, of their methods, of learning what does and does not work for them. Everyone's unique. And then that's when they became an overnight success. And the same thing will happen to you. And that wraps this up. Subscribe if you enjoyed it. It is like 3 a.m. right now, so I need to go to bed, but thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and create something beautiful.